Alright guys, Supreme Kami here. So I need to do the alteration review for the Strike Noir. So let's actually get started. So as far as Strike Noir, it is going to be presenting ourselves another additional choices of like, alright, what's going to be another good shooting based part, because this one honestly this have some of the higher stat that we have seen so far, but as far as like what is the peak, you guys can see it right now on the screen. It's going to be the High New Gundam that was released for the 30th anniversary. That one currently is still doing pretty decent, has not really been power crept yet, but as for the Striker, it's definitely pushing the barrier. And then as far as what this unit is trying to provide, it's going to be providing a lot of support for that mid-range. There's going to be a lot of things that's going to be supporting that. There's going to be a lot of specific conditions that want you to be running mid-range. So if any of you guys are running mid-range and you are kind of like, let's say, unwilling to kind of change like a different word tab per se, you can definitely still use it. I think Straight Noir is definitely going to be providing support for that tag, just like how they did for, let's say, the Financial Liberty. Just trying to broaden up what kind of let's say core combo you can do with those specific word tags. But without any further introduction, let's actually get started. We do have 8 parts in total to be reviewing, so let me try to see if I can get to them as fast as possible. So head part going to be presented with the following stats, so it's not bad. Base shot attack, I definitely say it's a little bit on the low balling aspect of it. Even the shot defense is not really as high as what we have seen so far. I think this one just slightly edges out compared to, let's say, the High New Gundam. But as far as the portrait, they're like, I think both of them are, they definitely do have their own perks and stuff. This one honestly is very good. This right here, like the Bub EX effects, is probably something that is very rare in a hit part, especially this is a a very high-end tier part. So this is actually pretty good. I think my only complaint is like if they didn't have this one right here, if they would have just slapped in like a traditional, I don't know, like a 25% initial charge boosting, let's say like the Strike Freedom, these two combo would have been a kill already. But nope, they went ahead and did this. So I don't know, like, just me honestly, if for like any of those high-end tier players that want to like one-shot the enemy for arena specifically, this is not gonna cut it. This is honestly gonna be a waste of slots, because like if you're gonna be clocking in that what is it, that skull beam cannon or skull cannon from the Gundam X-Mao, you're not gonna cut it. You need 25%, and this one 20% is just like kind of just pointing at you and laughing at you, because like they know you need another 5%, but they're not giving it to you. But nonetheless, having the Bub EX gift effects honestly is just a very unique and just very rare occasion. So definitely, if you guys would have it and you guys are running mid-range, definitely do go for it, because they do want you to be using mid-range. So that is going to be the caveat. So like I said again, this may or may not apply to you depending on what kind of build you're looking at. But for those who want to build upon, let's say Asus mid-range or even Commander, those 3 combos, this is going to be the one for you. Moving over to the torso, probably one of the more interesting, like not really interesting, but man, they packing heat in this one. Look at this one, double 90%, but granted, only the last one or the second condition is or the second effect is pretty much the most compelling to me, honestly. The first condition, we have you have to equip yourself to the saber category, either on your skin, preferably. If you guys are not using a skin at this point in time, I don't know what you guys are doing. So definitely run this on a skin, and then you guys will be able to get that 90%. So I think starting out base, we are 55%. My gosh, like if they made both of this like all power reduction, I would hands down go ham on it, because this is a very good reduction type part. So first portrait is honestly just very easy to activate, no problem. You get a 90% on reducing your enemy shot attacks, so that is good. So pretty much anything, normal shooting attacks, EXQ like shot base EXQ, those are getting negated 90%. So that's hot. But second portrait, this is funny, right? I don't want to say it's funny. It's kind of like sad in a way now, because this is only applied to physical. So when you're taking any physical damage, you get an all power reduction. So let's say you take some normal physical melee attack, normal physical shot attack, like the normal version, you pretty much take away 90% of them. So this one is only physical, which kind of sucks, honestly. Let me see if I can think of some good physical EXQ people might run. Oh, here's one. The axle drop. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be throwing rocks, and this one is going to be taking 90% and negating that. That's cool. Let's say people are using bicep on you, that's getting cut. So yeah, I mean these two combined are just powerhouse in terms of reducing what your enemy can do. So honestly, this, if you guys do have this part, maybe trying to run it on like a fun build in like an online entry or whatever. I think this one definitely makes a very good one, especially for like a supporting type build. This one is gonna be so annoying when you fight against, let's say, an arena. Like if anyone does run this one, oh my gosh, like I don't know, this one is just fun. Honestly, the status cell doesn't really matter all that much, but you do have some pretty high shot attack. But I think the portrait is definitely outshines the status cell. But going back to the stat, it's pretty good, I guess, in a way, right? Shot attack is pretty, relevant to what we have seen. Definitely pretty average, like high anterior average, like shot experience. So that's pretty good. So this one does place all the way up next to the new Gundam, just the new Gundam. So that's hot. As far as attack, you're looking at AC and then mid range. So let me see, as far as mid range, let me see how many support we have gotten so far. We have Strike Freedom, that's the big scale version of it. And then if you hit them just like ever so slightly, we're gonna come across the equivalently, and then down a little bit below we have Lightning Zeta, second view. So I mean, like, honestly, they have a lot of units or a lot of part that has mid range, but not to this extent where, oh, you have to be using mid range. So they're kind of forcing you to do it. So this is probably another way for them to reinforce this tag, maybe, in a way. So that's that. But going over to the arm part, this is going to be another situation where they are heavily applying mid-range, because look at the condition. Double condition right there are speaking loudly to you. Use mid-range, because that is going to be how you're going to get that EXQ, enemy EXQ damage plus 40% and then 50%. So this one is good. I don't think I have any complaints about this one. It's simply just very easy to activate. It's pretty much run mid-range and you're good to go. As far as the stat, this one does not. We just have too many good options, honestly. Like, look at the arm section. We just have a lot of part that has, high end tier stats. But as far as, let's say, portrait wise, I don't think we have all that much. Like these, I mean, these are good, right? But they're definitely not, let's say, anything damage dealing. These are pretty much for like initial charge. That's pretty much important. All enemy Kuna up, so that's definitely for like a different type of build. You have this one, initial charge and then reduction. So you have a lot of, high end tier parts that have good stats. But if you're talking about good portrait weapon itself, we just don't have that much. This one just slightly edges over the 9 that was released, I think a few weeks ago. So even the S Gundam, the booster unit, slightly edges over it. So yeah, this one definitely being the new face of, let's say, the shooting based arms. So it's not bad. It's just the problem, you do have the rear running mid range. So yeah. Other than that, I think that should be pretty much it. So pretty standard stuff as far as the stats. Just packing some pretty high defense right at the bat. So that's good. This one does also have some pretty, I guess, okay-ish physical resistance. So that can definitely come in handy, especially when they are running that physical mode arena. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, for arm. So going over to the leg. So the leg actually does come with a new EXQ. So even though the name is the same, but they actually went ahead and kind of, give us like a new EXQ. I wouldn't call it the most flashiest EXQ, but at least they put in the effort and gave us some new. They actually went ahead and also added the extra effects. So raising shot attack of your squad by 49%. I'll take it. It's not that terrible. You pretty much you pop this one, the squad gets this, so that's good. Since I don't really have it, so I don't know, does this one have any iframe, so when you're executing it, or you're taking damage, etc. So I don't know yet. So for those that have this per se, do let me know if you're taking damage during any of the animation. But as far as this one, stat wise, it's gonna be as follows. So this one does actually have some pretty well balanced as far as the offensive. The defensive, obviously, for the melee is not really there, only 3k, so we're not gonna talk about that. Shot defense is actually pretty exceptional, almost at 9k, so we'll definitely take that. So this one is actually gonna be placed within the top 3 at the moment, so that's pretty good. This one, as for the tag, gonna be further boosting ace exclusive, and then for space, so gonna be going over not mid-range anymore, but you know, providing a little bit more support for the space category tag, which we just don't have any at all. Like, when was the last time we actually have something that is under, let's say, for space? We have the Hakashi Kai. What else? I think that's it. Yeah, so we don't really have that many support. So so another part that they're trying to open up to a different tag. So I mean, it's cool and all that. Definitely no complaints for the fact that they're trying to broaden up the tag combo. So I mean, it's cool. But it's just that any of those war tags that has 4 in the front, they will never be as good, just because like they will only shine in their specific environment. So I don't know how many maps we have that pertains to those specific categories. So you're looking at a very odd chance you might run into the one that you're boosting for space per se. So it's just not gonna be good. It's good that they're providing support to that, but at the end of the day, it's not just you get a less percentage if you're not running on that specific map. So kind of sucks, but it's nothing we can do, right? This one gonna be boosting the same vortex once again, ace, and then for space, and then as far as the stat, let's see what we are doing. So yeah, pretty much gonna be the same thing, just gonna be very high indeed for the stats. So on this one we have the dual linear again once again. So this one is just a very hard hitting EX skill, even the welfare version. So if you guys do have the welfare version, and that if you compare this one, I don't know if there's gonna be any difference. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they should hit relatively the same. I could actually test it on myself, but I'll be comparing it with base EX skill level 1 to a EX skill level 10. So not gonna be the most you know, let's say fair fight right there. But you know, this one don't really have much to talk about, because this one is simply the stats and EX skill. So simply investing into the support is simply for the stats. So if you guys do have anything better than this one already, something that you guys have worked on, I would not really advise you guys to, let's say, go ahead and work on this part. Yeah, but that's that. It's not gonna be a swallow, so pretty good. Oh, hold up, the shot attack is actually quite low, like the raw shot attack. Okay, but you are gonna definitely be compensated with that shot defense, so that's good to see. But moving over to some of the melee weaponry. So we have the blade, the twin blade here. So let's see what we have. So stat on this one is actually quite low as far as the base shot attack, but you are carried away with that shot defense. So that's good to see. So this one is going to be landing just right below that new Gundam. So yeah, power creep is coming in. But as far as the portrait goes, it's not going to be anything too spectacular. First portrait is good, but the secondary portrait is going to be a 55% chance of attack penetrating super armor. So it's just not going to be that good. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I think the last time we seen this one was Ariel's Gundam on the arm part, which completely ruins it. I mean, like, why? So this one, once again, they're doing it again. So sad. Honestly, it's sad. Tag wise, we are looking at mid-range and then ace exclusive, but as far as the stat department, this one is definitely something that is going to come in handy. But as far as anything that is dual bladed, let's say dual saber, or this one should be not dual blade, it should be dual sabers. Like, my bad on that one. So you definitely do have a lot of good option. Honestly, I forgot to change that one to cut to damage, but you have this one that you can just kind of subslot into, but not really, because this one's going to be big scale. So you're primarily going to be looking for something that is going to be under the dual saber, and yet again having some pretty OP kind of like portrait and stuff. But I don't think twin saber has all that much. Oh yeah, this one is good. This one should be the Hazen Dry 2, bro. Yeah, that one is good. Yeah, so this one, if you guys do have this one is a very good option. Gonna be boosting Ace Sister and then Transformer. Other than that, we just, oh no, never mind, we have this one here, the A to Z beam rifle, or the beam saber. Yeah, it's pretty much what you really need. Double 40% trait, so it's not bad. just not bad overall. But yeah, I think that should be pretty much it for the blade. This is a very good option for the stats. And in terms of, let's say you don't want this portrait, we definitely do have some other portrait that are good in itself. So yeah, pretty good for the stat department. Portrait wise, not so much. Going over to the ranged weapon, we have, oh, isn't that the rifle for Duel's Gundam? Okay, so they actually packed two of these to make it more powerful. Okay, I guess. But yeah, the portrait is actually quite powerful, I guess, in itself. But this one is actually a little balling it, because typically we see something, let's say, in the 40% tile. So this one dialing it back to 35% is just kind of unwarranted for me to invest into. Kind of sad. But this one does have some pretty decent stat. You do have some pretty good shot defense, that's for sure. So this one is going to be placing within some of the top dogs as far as some of the ranged weapons. So the highest one we have right now is going to be the long range spin funnel. So that's going to be your high new Gundam, not high new Gundam, just your basic new Gundam. But yeah, you know, power creep is inevitable. But yeah, this one just not really there, right? If this one is like a 40%, I think it's definitely a very good investment. But right now, setting at 35% is just not that hot. But if we do take a look at the other one, the beam rifle shorty, I think this one probably is a better option, because you're talking about you have some initial EXQ, or yeah, you have initial EXQ charge, and you also do have some EXQ CD reduce. So you're getting to it in one part, so that's good. We typically don't see too many of this option. Never mind, we actually do have another one right here. But this one is for P attribute, while this one is for, you know, T attribute. So if you want to do a different investment for your attack attribute, maybe you have something to work on already, this one can definitely be another one that you want to be looking into. But other than that, as for the Strike Noir, I wouldn't say there's a lot of, like, you know, OP portrait in itself. Torso definitely one of the more outlandish one that's having a double 9%, so that is like definitely something else. Arm part is definitely really good, but other than that, all the other one are something that we have pretty much seen before. So pretty much the top three are something that I say is very, very good. But as we kind of trickle down to, let's say, leg part, back part, dual sabers, and even the ranged weaponry, there's something that we already do have, you know, but just with a better stat. So so if you guys do have something to invest already, these are probably not going to be the best option to go for. And do kind of consider the fact that they in terms of these parts specifically, they are going to be boosting, let's say, mid-range, high fire, or not high firepower, exclusive, and then for space. But let's say if you do have the wolf preferred, you can definitely access whatever that water hacks to kind of work whatever you need to do. But other than that, that is going to be pretty much it, just for a quick review for the Strike Noir Alteration. And then yeah, do let me know which one, if you guys did pull, which one of the part you guys were able to get. If you guys were able to get the leg, that's definitely really good, just for the new EXQ. So other than that, that's going to be pretty much it, and then I'll be catching you on the next one.